band members, like athletes, will first start out with a warm-up. One warm-up they have been learning about is scales. The first 4 scales they learn to play and will now perform are the B flat, A flat, and E flat concert scales. The next selection uses what are called accidentals. These are notes in the song that are not in the main scale notes of the piece. They are sometimes tricky and can take a lot of practice to perfect. In this song, they help introduce the students to the blues style of music. Please enjoy Accidental Blues. Another concept that the band has been working on since around winter break has been various rhythms. They've been learning syncopation, or playing of the weak beats. The next piece uses this rhythm pattern, as well as teaching the students how to play on the off beats. It's been one of the students' favorite songs to work on. Please enjoy Rock On, Rock Off. This next selection is the band's first actual sheet music. It uses many of the concepts of how to bring all the different sections of the band together into one cohesive song. You will hear a familiar folk song called What Shall We Do with a Drunken Sailor? Please enjoy Sea Shanty Variations. song that they'll be performing this evening has quickly become a Wilson Band tradition. The band always ends their portion of the concert with "Let's Go Band." At this time, we will start kind of rearranging some things, and we'll have the 7th and 8th grade band kind of switch places.
All right, so next is the 7th and 8th grade band. And as you see in your program, they're doing their first piece called Tales of a Medieval Warrior. And if you couldn't kind of guess from the title, it's a programmatic work that seeks to capture the life and times of heroic knights of the Middle Ages. One of the things I chose this piece for was to introduce them to a suite, or a piece of music that has 3 different sections to it. So you might hear us play a section stop, and then start a new section. And you really don't need to applause until we get all the way through the end of the piece, which in this song is 3 different parts. So here is Tales of a Medieval Warrior. All right, so while the percussion kind of gets switched and ready, as you can probably guess by the title of this next piece, the piece recreates the sound of a full cattle stampede through the use of multiple effects. And you'll kind of hear the stampede off in the distance, and then about halfway through, the stampede will get much, much closer, and you will definitely hear that back in the percussion section before the end where the stampede kind of exits. So, this is Brian Valmage's Stampede. if we could give the 7th and 8th graders another round of applause. That was kind of a warm-up for Cedar Point coming up in about a week and a half. All right. All right. Now we go on to everyone's favorite part. At least it's my favorite part, which is the award ceremony part. And we get to really recognize all the amazing students and all the work that they've put in over the course of this school year, kind of this end of the year celebration. All right. I do want to start out with a couple of thank yous. I see a couple of them were here, talked to them earlier. The other band directors in the district, Mr. Auer at the high school, you've met him. Miss Bricker over on the side, she teaches Heritage. Miss Whiteman teaches at Liberty. I just want to thank them for all they do for all the band students here at Newark, and if we could give them a round of applause as well. Mrs. Stewart was here talking to you about the band boosters. It is amazing how much a parent organization with such a large group like the band, how much work, how much time, how much effort it goes to put into everything they do, supporting the kids in all the levels, elementary, middle school, high school, with marching band and jazz band and all the concert bands and everything that goes into it behind the scenes. So if we could give the band boosters a big round of applause as well. The man standing beside me gets a lot of credit. Mr. Davis and Mr. Walters, the Dean of Students. We definitely could not do what we do here at Wilson, band, orchestra, and choir, without such supportive administrators. They're really there for anything that we need. Mr. Walters does a tremendous job getting everyone scheduled in the beginning of the year, making sure that they get into the correct band class and the correct choir class, and just making sure that all that is set and that it takes a level of importance and priority within the schedule. And a lot of schools aren't that way. And we're very, very blessed to be able to have that here at Wilson, along with all the academic subjects as well. So if we could please thank Mr. Davis and Mr. Walters. Here at Wilson, we do go on a couple of trips, a couple of events that we do throughout the year. One of them is coming up. And that's our favorite event of the year when we go to Cedar Point. We're going to do that May 19th. The 7th and 8th grade band that you just heard, we've got about another week and a half to perfect some things, and we've got some things we can work on after that performance tonight. We're on our way to get ready for playing in front of a panel of judges at the Cedar Point Music Festival, where we'll receive a rating and a plaque. Every year that we've been here, they're up on the band room wall. We've gotten the highest rating, which is a gold rating. And I have no doubt that if we keep working hard with the 7th and 8th grade band over the next week and a half, we'll be able to do that again. So that is coming up May 19th. Earlier in the year, we went and saw the Ohio State University Marching Band in concert. We did that back in November on the Ohio State campus. I'll never forget this. There had to have been some students who maybe have never been to Columbus before, downtown Columbus. It was at the Palace Theater this year, which is right in the heart of downtown. And as the buses were driving into downtown, I heard someone in the back of the bus go, "Oh my gosh, it's a little New York City." They had just never seen anything like it. And the fact that we're able to get students out there and expose them to experiences like that is such a big deal. And we could not do that without parent support. So if you chaperone that trip, or you're coming up and chaperoning the Cedar Point trip coming up May 19th, don't be shy. Please stand up and be recognized to all those parents who have really helped with those events and those trips this year. Thank you very, very much. My last thank you, and this is where I get a little emotional. I do it every year. I can't help it. So this is my 19th year. I don't know how many concerts. I've never actually sat down and counted them up. And even after all this time, at my ripe old age of kids know how old I am, they are on me about it all the time, how old I am, right, Bailey? Yep, you'll be this one day. My parents have come to everything ever since I was in elementary school. And they're here tonight. So thank you very much for all your support. two most important people in my life are up in the top row. Sam and Lily. The kids have heard me talk about them a lot, especially this year because they started band in their school. And Lily plays French horn and Sam plays trombone, and they're doing a great job. Very proud band director father. So. Okay, enough of that. On to some of the awards. First awards are their certificates, and these go to each student who completed the year in band. We'll start with beginning band, and there were a few students who weren't able to be here tonight, but we do have a certificate for them still anyway. But when you hear your name, please come up and we'll just make a line right up here. Okay, Mr. Davis will give you your certificate, and if we can hold the applause until all the names are called, then we'll give one big loud applause, starting with all the beginning band members. All right, first is Asen Anarino, Michelle Bishop, James Bunnett, Natalie Breckenridge, Logan Butler, Bryson Carroll, Landon Call, Carly Clark, Zane Crace, Philip Dillo, Brooklyn Dispinet, Kyle Driscoll, Mason Gaskill, Carter Grant, Lily Gully, Brianna Harris, TJ Hayes, Aiden Heckman Kirk, fast, Jaden Higgins, Carly Kemery. Did I say it right? Yes. I had to practice that one because I always call her Carly Kemery. I call her that the whole year, and I even think about it and I still get it wrong, but I got it right that time. Brianna Kerr, Lucas Kubik, Teresa Luzinolo, Apple Madden, Asa Mayo, Cameron Oakley, Ashton Pearson, proud brother, Xander Puma, Julie Purrier, Abby Sailing, Michael Schilling, Skylar Scher, Logan Scott, and last but not least, Genoa Toller. Who'd I forget? Madison Jenkins? Sorry, Madison. Madison Jenkins. I know, it's right there. I just got to. All right, big round of applause for our this year's beginning band members. All right, you guys can have a seat. In all honesty, it always amazes me, even after all these number of years doing this, how far beginning band students, beginning choir, and beginning string students, how far they get in less than a year. From when they come in, literally making random sounds. I'm sure you all heard at home in the beginning of the year, to what you heard tonight. They work really, really hard. And have made so much progress. So they're going to be a great 7th grade band next year. All right, going on to our 7th graders. Christy Agnew, Bailey Call, Nate Hom, Ronnie Helser, Maddie Hungate, Rebecca Justice, Maddie Knighton, Jeremiah McAdams, Eli McNeamer, Micah Metzler, Alex Morehouse, RJ Sands, Paige Stewart. Did I get everybody this time? All right, big round of applause for our 7th grade band. You guys can have a seat. Because we combined them with the 8th grade band for performances, I really pushed them with music this year. And they really stepped up and worked very, very hard to learn music that was very challenging, which will really prepare them for 8th grade next year. Our 8th graders get not only their certificate, but they also get a band music pin that all 8th graders get for completing all the band years at Wilson Middle School. DJ Bachelor, Gage Gunton, Cole Howe, Brandon Jackson, Savannah Justice, Cadence Keener, Ethan Mick, Casey Oakleaf, Leah Paul, Anna Quick, Cole Richardson, Lily Taylor, this group has always been a small but mighty one. And I've really enjoyed some of them. I've known since they were in the 4th grade. And I'm really going to miss them next year when they go to high school. We've grown a lot as people and as musicians, and I could not be more proud of this class. Big, big round of applause for this 8th grade Wilson band. You guys can have a seat. One of the most important events we do all year is called Solo and Ensemble Contest. And it's always around middle of March. So once we get back from Christmas break, we really start to work on Solo and Ensemble Contest. So every student in 7th and 8th grade participates. A lot of them perform solos on their instrument, so just them and a piano player. As well as small ensembles, maybe trios, quartets, maybe up to 5, quintet, in all different kind of configurations. And a lot of it is done on their own. At home, that's a lot of the point. I want them to try and learn how to prepare music on their own and be able to play with just a few other people. It really gives me a chance to listen to them one-on-one and play stuff that we wouldn't normally play in band. We go to our solo and ensemble contest. Everyone plays for a judge that they've never seen before, never played in front of. Very difficult thing to do, especially if they take a solo. A lot of them are really nervous, and they did a great, great job this year. And I want to recognize those students and give them their ribbon based on the rating they got at solo and ensemble. So these are the excellent ratings for the people who presented or participated in ensembles and got that excellent rating. So just come on up, make a line again. Cadence Keener, Casey Oakleaf, Leah Paul, DJ Bachelor, Cole Richardson, Anna Quick, Lily Taylor, Savannah Justice, Nate Hall, Christy Agnew, Rebecca Justice, Congratulations to those students who earned an excellent rating in their ensemble. You guys may have a seat. Overall, we had 15 superior ratings and 3 excellent ratings, which is the best percentage we've ever had here at Wilson. So we had a great, great day. Here are the superior ratings. These are the highest ratings that you could get from a judge, and these are the people who performed an ensemble and got a superior rating. Leah Paul, Gage Gunton, Ethan Mick, Brandon Jackson, Cole Howe, Alex Morehouse, Eli McNeamer, Ronnie Helser, R.J. Sands, Jeremiah McAdams, Paige Stewart, Bailey Call, these are the ensemble superior ratings. You guys want to have a seat? And one of the things we're most proud of here, and in 19 years of teaching, I've never had this happen, every single student who took a solo got a superior rating. Every single one, which is a big, big accomplishment. And they are Brandon Jackson, Cole Howe, Anna Quick, Savannah Justice, Ethan Mick, Alex Morehouse, Rebecca Justice, R.J. Sands, Paige Stewart, big round of applause for our solo superior ratings. It's very important, and I encourage students, we've got some really great opportunities very close to Newark and the surrounding area of being able to provide these students with chances to perform in outside groups, honor bands and that kind of thing. And every year we send a few students to the District 10 OMEA Honor Band. In the last couple of years, we've had Wilson represented by a few students who went to The Ohio State University and performed in the Ohio State University Middle School Honor Band. So that's a pretty special accomplishment. So we have a nice medallion for those students who performed in those honor bands. Beginning with the OMEA District 10 Middle School Honor Band, and that's held end of November, beginning of December. They went one Tuesday night for a couple hours, and then went the following Saturday, and then performed that concert in less than a day of rehearsal, which is pretty outstanding. So those 3 students this year were Gage Gunton, Savannah Justice, and Anna Quick. Congratulations. That's my seat. In January, about 400 middle school students from all over the state of Ohio go to Ohio State on one day, one Saturday, and rehearse very challenging music. And there are 2 7th grade bands and 2 8th grade bands, and it's this huge concert. And we had 3 Wilson students actually able to go perform in one of those bands this year. So our Ohio State Honor Band attendees were Brandon Jackson, Savannah Justice, and R.J. Sands. Another round of applause for the Ohio State Honor Band. All right, you guys can have a seat. Now we get to the trophy part. And we have two main categories for these. I like to give a most improved for each class period, as well as an exemplary musician for each class period. And the first one we'll start with is most improved. And we start with most improved woodwind class. We have a woodwind beginning class, and then a brass and percussion beginning class, as well as a 7th grade and an 8th grade. So for our beginning band woodwind, this is an instrument that can usually be tricky at first. I always tell them it's kind of like riding a bike. It might take you a little bit to get it, but then once you've got it, you've got it. And she really, in the second half of the year, really came on strong. So the most improved is Teresa Lusignolo, who told me when she got here tonight that she almost forgot she had a concert and didn't show up. Which would have been bad, since she would have not been able to get the first trophy. Okay. Our brass and percussion for beginning band. I never had to worry about the student. Always played with a great tone, knew his fingerings, was very, very solid. Jaden Higgins. Lugged that baritone home into school almost every single day and never once complained about it. And you could tell he practiced a lot. So very, very well-deserved. Our 7th grade recipient couldn't be here tonight. That was Jeremiah McAdams. Our 8th grade most improved. Last year kind of made a transition and just really embraced it. Worked very, very hard. He's very conscientious about his instrument, really trying to be the best he can on a very difficult instrument. So well-deserved for most improved Ethan Mick. If you weren't watching him play, he has a very large saxophone called a baritone saxophone. It's bigger than he is. And he's done a great, great job on it. Don't let him tell you he doesn't love it, because he does. He named it. I forget what its name is. There you go, see? Only freaky man people like us do that. Name their instrument, but he did. Next is the exemplary musician. And this is really the musician who goes above and beyond. They don't believe it, but I can tell when they practice and when they don't. And these are the students who I know always do. I can tell have a really deep love for this. They've really thrown themselves into it and are just excellent, excellent players. In our woodwind class for a beginning band, Madison Jenkins. For our brass and percussionists, it's funny. Some of my very best players on this instrument are not the body type you would think. Some of my very best players are little tiny girls, and it doesn't make sense, but something works with it. And it worked again this year in our brass percussion, Lily Gully on tuba. Hard instrument to start out on. She did a great, great job. 7th grade. This is where it gets difficult. A lot of good candidates for this in 7th grade. I thought long and hard, went back and forth and back and forth. But this person is very deserving. Really stepped up as a leader. Going to be a great, great 8th grade percussionist as well. 7th grade, Alex Morehouse. He got a superior rating on his snare solo, and he played with 2 other 8th grade members. So it was 8th graders and Alex on that snare solo. And he did a great, great job learning that difficult piece. 8th grade. Like I said, they're small but mighty, and they have so many good, really good individual solid players that it's hard to narrow down and just pick 1 or 2 people for these final awards. Which is a good problem to have. But I've known this player for a long time. I count on her a lot both musically and in leadership positions. In helping whenever I need her to help, she's always there. She's there to volunteer. She helped one of the people that helped set up today. And really going to miss her when she goes into high school next year. So the exemplary musician is Leah Paul. And the last one, or the most prestigious one, is our outstanding instrumentalist at Wilson Middle School. This always goes to an 8th grade student who really exemplifies the top characteristics of what a band member really should be, what they need to be, exuding practice habits, being good leaders in class, setting really good examples. They have a plaque up here on the wall that goes on the wall in the band room with their name that will be forever engraved as a testament to their musicianship and hard work. I've always only given it out to one person because I've really tried to kind of to recognize that one strong person. And I couldn't. I kept going back and forth, and I wrote down all the different things to try and, there has to be a tiebreaker somewhere. All the different extra things they did in band, and the different groups they were in, and I couldn't break it, the tie. And then I thought, I'm the band director, I can do what I want, I'll just pick them both. So I did, because I just could not to break the tie in my head. And they're both so deserving of it. I'm going to recognize them one at a time. They're going to make tremendous high school musicians for Mr. Auer and the Newark High School Band. And the first one is Brandon Jackson. Let's give Brandon another round of applause. Tremendous percussionist. Great kid. Great leader. And all those characteristics also describe the next person. Ever since beginning band on a difficult instrument, way back in beginning band, I never even had to think about it. I knew she was going to be there. I knew she had her part. And she was going to work hard until she got it, even if she would get so frustrated it brought her to tears. I learned not to worry about her, she'd get it. And she always did. And she has grown I didn't think in 6th grade she would ever do a solo an ensemble. And she did. And she got a 1 on it, and it was great. Going to be a wonderful French horn player in high school, Anna Quick. Congratulations to all the Wilson band members this year. And we're not done. 7th and 8th graders have one performance in the morning for the National Junior Honor Society ceremony that we always perform at. And we're always thrilled to be asked to do that every year. And then the big one next Friday, May 19th at Cedar Point. So we've got some work to do. So 7th and 8th grade parents, make sure they're still practicing at home. We're still working almost all the way up to the end of school. They know they've got jobs to do when we're done, as far as cleaning up. Beginners are going to go clean up the cafeteria. 7th and 8th graders, we're just going to kind of shift our set over to our left to get ready for the Honor Society in the morning ceremony. But then once that's done, they're free to go. Again, thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed our concert. Safe drive home. Thank you again.